7 alleged cohorts of dismissed Bambantarlac Mayor Alice Guo surrendered to authorities, according to the National Bureau of Investigation. In a press conference on Monday, September 23, NBI Chief Jaime Santiago said 5 of Guo's cohorts turned themselves in before the agency's office in Central Luzon, while the 2 others surrendered to the task force in the former mayor's case. In a report, the NBI identified the 5 as Rachel Joan Malonzo Carrion, Jamelyn Santos Cruz, Rita Sapno Uyturalde, Rowena Gonzalez Evangelista, and Thelma Barogo Requiro. The remaining 2 are Roderick Paul Bernarde Pajuante and Juan Miguel Alpaz. The 7 are currently under police custody pursuant to 5 arrest warrants issued against them for human trafficking charges. On the other hand, Guo is currently detained in the Pasig City Jail after over 2 weeks at the Philippine National Police Custodial Facility. Aside from the qualified human trafficking complaint, Guo is also facing graft charges. Dismissed Bambantarlac Mayor Alice Guo will remain in the Pasig City Jail as a court order to prevent her transfer from Camp Crame was issued only after she had already been moved to the facility. Philippine National Police spokesperson Colonel Jean Fajardo disclosed over the weekend that Guo's camp filed a very urgent motion to remain at the PNP custodial facility, citing the alleged threats against her life. However, the Pasig City Regional Trial Court Branch 167 released its order to hold Guo's transfer in abeyance only after she had already been transferred to Pasig City Jail's female dormitory at around 9:30 a.m. on Monday, September 23. The Pasig Court then issued another order on Monday afternoon saying the motion filed by Guo's camp is now considered moot. It also canceled the hearing of the subject motion initially scheduled on September 27. A commitment order from the Pasig Court dated September 19 directed the transfer of Guo to the Pasig City Jail female dormitory. Meanwhile, the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology says Guo tested negative for tuberculosis, which means she will be housed in the regular cell with 43 other detainees. Guo, along with others, is facing a qualified human trafficking complaint filed by the PNP Criminal Investigation and Detection Group and the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission before the Department of Justice. The proposed 2025 budget of the Office of the President has been green-lighted at the committee level in the Senate. The Office of the President's proposed budget was approved in less than 10 minutes on Monday, September 23, after the Senate Subpanel on Finance began its inquiry because of parliamentary courtesy given to a co-equal branch of the government. Senate President Pro Tempore Jinggoy Estrada moved to approve the Office of the President's proposed budget. His motion was seconded by Senator Nancy Binay and was later approved by the Senate Panel on Finance head, Senator Grace Poe. Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin represented President Bongbong Marcos during the budget deliberations. The proposed 2025 budget of the Office of the President amounts to 10.5 billion pesos, which is 1.88% lower than the agency's budget in 2024. According to Bersamin, the reduction in the budget being proposed will not affect the delivery of services of the President to Filipinos. Apart from this, he emphasized that their presence in the Monday hearing manifests Marcos' commitment to work closely with the Senate for the common goal of development.
More than the need to comply with the legal requirement to present our proposed budget before a co-equal branch upon which the power to appropriate is conferred by the Constitution, our presence here manifests the President's commitment to work closely with the Senate in upholding our mutual objective of promoting the welfare of our people and the country's national interests.
Bersamin said the proposed fund will also cover necessary infrastructure works within the palace complex. The proposal will now be submitted to the plenary for approval. Senate President Pro Tempore Jinggoy Estrada quashed speculations that he would replace Senator Chis Escudero as Senate President, but he confirmed there was an attempt to oust Escudero about 2 or 3 weeks ago. In a press conference on Monday, September 23, Estrada said it was not true that he would replace Escudero, adding he was surprised by such speculations. According to Estrada, he is very supportive of Escudero's leadership. But when he was asked if there were indeed attempts to stage a coup d'etat against Escudero weeks ago, the Senate President Pro Tempore answered in the affirmative. He clarified, however, that it was not coming from him. Pressed to disclose if there were senators who asked Estrada to support this coup attempt versus Escudero, the Senate's second top official said no one has asked him so far. Estrada likewise denied that there was unrest in the chamber, noting that the majority of senators were in favor of Escudero's leadership.
Walang kumakausap. Walang lumalapit sa akin.
May unless ba ang Senator?
Wala naman. I think the majority of senators are very supportive of Senate President Escudero. I'm supportive of the leadership of Senate President Escudero. And he's doing a good job.
In a separate text message to reporters, Escudero said the officials of the Senate, including the Senate President, serve at the pleasure of the majority. According to Escudero, Senate leadership can be changed at any time in the plenary. The imposition of fines against motorists entering toll highways without radio frequency identification tags or RFID has been moved to January 2025, according to the Department of Transportation. Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista in a palace briefing said they are only deferring the implementation of penalties for motorists without a valid RFID device or with an insufficient load balance, and not the whole program of cashless expressways. According to Bautista, the agency will use information from consultation meetings with various tollway stakeholders to make any amendments to the joint memorandum circular imposing such penalties.
On the tollways deferment, we are extending to January next year the implementation of the penalties, not the whole program of cashless expressways under the Joint Memorandum Circular 2024-001. We are collating inputs from recent consultation meetings with various tollway stakeholders, including information and profile of violators. This information will be used to make any amendments to the Joint Memorandum Circular.
Bautista then reiterated the government's commitment to achieve convenient and traffic-less travels at all expressways using cashless toll exits. Meanwhile, Toll Regulatory Board Executive Director Alvin Carullo said the fines will not be imposed until the electronic toll collection system has been cleared of bugs. This means the January 2025 schedule may still be further moved. Initially, the imposition of the fines was supposed to be implemented on August 31 but was then moved to October 1. Fuel prices will increase beginning Tuesday, September 24 after 2 consecutive weeks of big price rollbacks on petroleum products. In separate advisories on Monday, September 23, local oil firms said the per-liter costs will rise by 1 pesos and 10 centavos for gasoline and 20 centavos for diesel. Kerosene, on the other hand, has no price movement during the period. According to the Department of Energy Oil Industry Management Bureau, the increases could be blamed on external factors such as the U.S. Fed Reserve's aggressive interest rate cut and the Middle East conflict. As of September 17, the year-to-date net increases of gasoline stood at 4 pesos and 85 centavos per liter, while net increases of diesel stood at 1 peso and 75 centavos per liter. Kerosene, meanwhile, had a net decrease of 6 pesos and 35 centavos a liter.